Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Trinidad. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says some police officers are now pretending to close stations to hide from criminals. He made the comment on Monday as the Parliament debated the rationale for the state of emergency and a further 3-month extension to it in separate motions. The Prime Minister said criminals had become so brazen that they believe they can, without fear, shoot and kill even the police. He said this has led to the belief that the regular laws are not sufficient to treat with the harshness of the criminal element. He lamented the difficulty his government has faced in dealing with murders. Those were over 60 murders in December, and to deal with the threat to public safety from gangs reprisal attacks. Speaking again during the motion to extend the state of emergency, which was declared on December 30, 2024, Dr. Keith Rowley said the first 15 days were not enough to have a genuine impact. We tie now that the Caribbean Public Health Agency says it's monitoring seasonal viruses such as the human metapneumovirus, HMPV, and influenza, and while currently the risk posed towards the Caribbean is low, there is potential for increased risk. CARPA said the reports speak of an increase in cases of influenza, a human metapneumovirus, HMPV, mycoplasma pneumoniae, and COVID-19, resulting in overwhelmed hospitals and cemeteries. This reported increase in respiratory infections is expected during the winter period in the Northern Hemisphere. Importantly, CARPA notes that there have been no official reports with details from the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention to complement second-hand reports given by various news agencies. Notably, China had a similar surge in respiratory illnesses in November 2023, which was reportedly due to 7 respiratory viruses. HMPV is a respiratory virus which generally causes upper and lower respiratory disease in people of all ages, especially among children under 5, older adults, and those with weakened immune systems. Symptoms include cough, fever, nasal congestion, and shortness of breath, which may progress to bronchitis or pneumonia, similar to other viruses that has caused upper and lower respiratory infections. And now for some international news. At least 400 illegal miners remain trapped underground in South Africa with 2 months after a police raid. A spokesperson for the South African Police Service, SAPS, did not respond to a request for a comment. However, spokesperson for the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy said bodies had been retrieved from the mine, but said no further details could be divulged ahead of an official report. The 2 videos, which Reuters verified, were obtained by South African miners' rights group Mining Affected Communities United in Action, MACA, on Monday. They received them from miners emerging from the gold mine in Northwest Province on January 10, when a pulley was restored to the bottom of the cavern. The first clip reported showing piles of miners' bodies wrapped in sacks and plastic, while living miners who were still stuck underground pleaded for help. A second video showed shirtless miners looking emaciated with their ribs protruding. Police said the blocked miners supplies of foods and water to force them out and arrest them for illegally entering the abandoned mine in search of leftover gold, part of a crackdown on illegal mining that has plagued South Africa for decades. MACA spokesperson Magnificent Mbele said there are more than 400 miners still waiting to be rescued 2 months after a standoff with South African police. I am KERESE Gonsalves. Thank you for watching.